All right, rock and roll. Welcome to the Scorched Earth podcast for Saturday, February 15th. And here we are, baby. Taking no prisoners, telling no lies. Let's start off the day with my Friday evening. And I get home after the week in Las Vegas, and, you just want to... It's funny, when you get back from a little vacation, it's like... Now you got to do double the work. You got to clean all the clothes. You got to put everything away. You got to get the house back in order. And I'm a guy, so me getting a house in order is quite a bit different than what most ladies do out there. Thank God I don't have that kind of energy or OCD. But so I get home and I turn the TV on, and I am a technological retard. Okay, I really am. Thank God for super producer Stacy. I just am so thankful that girl is in my ecosystem. And I turn the TV on and there is no sound. And I have had this problem for the last 3 months, right? So I got to call Spectrum. Oh my God, here we go. This is literally like the 10th time I've called them. And they have me changing out Zemo boxes and HDMI cables and check the port and the HDMI receptacle. And I swear to God, they should put me on the effing payroll, right? I mean, like, how much more can I do? I should be certified as an IT specialist after this. I still can't turn on my iPhone, but I can figure this out, right? So we're going through it all. And I have, over the course of the 10 different people I've talked to over the last 3 months, I have heard every suggestion. One guy said, you should have kept the cable box. You shouldn't have went to the streaming box. I always keep the cable box because that gives me a backup. And I'm thinking to myself, well, they make you get rid of the cable box because they charge you another $15 a month, right? They're always gouging you. It's not enough to get you on $150 a month. They just got to gouge you for another 5 or 10 or whatever. So I got my bill is like $125, right? So I'm talking to the lady. We finally work out the problem literally after 35 minutes. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm on her for 35 minutes. She goes, I'm going to get you over to billing, and they're probably going to give you 6 months of free service. And I'm like, wow, okay, I'll stay on. I'm here. You got me hooked here. I get over there, and the lady's like, oh, wow, it's been 56 days since you called about this problem. She goes, I'm going to prorate you at the 56 days just for the internet, not for the cable and this and that. And I'm like, wow. And then I said, well, what's my bill? And she goes, well, it's $148. And I said, well, when I renewed, I thought it was $130. Isn't that it's like the car salesman. They tell you one number, and then literally down the road, like 10 minutes later, it's like double. And I said, I understand 150 is not double of 130, okay? My math is bad, public educated, but it's not that bad. It's not Trump bad, let's say that. So we start going through it, and she goes, oh, you got 2 Zemo boxes. And I go, no, I only have 1. She goes, well, you're getting charged for 2. And I go, well, I guess I'm not doing that. And she goes, okay, well, you're going to get a high-speed box coming to your house that we ordered for you. I go, well, why are we doing that? And she goes, well, the lady before ordered it. And I go, how much is that? She goes, well, that's $25 a month. I go, look, I'm not looking for a higher bill. I'm actually trying to go down on the bill and, wait for it, be able to hear the movies I'm watching. I mean, this isn't Charlie Chaplin, just watching the action across the screen. So we go through that, and then there's another 45 minutes, and I'm like, wow, I was on the phone today with the cable guy, with the cable company, for an hour and a half. And I'm like, wow, when does this all end? It is so funny, and I'll just say for me, like, I'll take the little gouge on the extra $5 or $10 just so I don't have to call these customer service PRICKS. I'm trying to be good for Stacy. She tells me I got to wait 10 minutes before I start using the obscenities, okay? I better put a clock up here. I'm telling you. All right. And away we go. Funny thing happened on the way to the apocalypse. CNN is reporting, thank God for CNN, that Trump administration officials fired more than 300 staffers of the National Nuclear Security Administration. Wow. Good thing they're doing those budget cuts. Got to save some money. Now, for all of you who don't know what that is the agency tasked with managing the nation's nuclear stockpile as under the auspices of the Energy Department. So what Trump has done is he has made massive layoffs, as we've talked about previously, on different departments, unconstitutionally and unlawfully, I might add. And he didn't well, we'll get to that in a second. The White House says it was around 50. So like we're talking about my cable company and their idea of what math is, I got a funny feeling Trump is just a tad bit off. So some of the fired employees include NNSA staff who are on the ground at facilities where nuclear weapons are built and maintained. Yeah, sounds good. We don't need those people securing those sites. Really, we don't. You know, have you ever watched a James Bond movie? And, you know, it's the one guy against the criminal enterprise, Spectre, or whatever it is, you know, this nefarious organization with reaches throughout the globe. And he's one guy, and they're trying to steal a nuclear bomb. And they've put together this meticulous plan to do this and make this happen and make that happen over a 2 or 3 year period to procure the nuclear weapon. Well, who needs the James Bond plot? Just wait till the Trump administration takes over, and then you can just walk through the front gate. Hey, pull up the Ryder truck, put in the 2 nukes, and we're out of here. Oh, my God. You know, signs and wonders. The NNSA has over 1,800 facilities with nuclear weapons or development of nuclear weapons in the United States. Now, that number right there just blew my mind. You know, we talk about nuclear weapons, but we really don't think about it. 1,800 facilities in the United States. And we're going to cut the staff for that? We're going to cut the security for that? Yeah, no big deal. Hey, if a nuke goes off in Wyoming, it's okay. Well, just, you know, it just clears a little more land. You know, don't worry about it. It's just a mistake. Hey, it's Biden's fault. Members of Congress, after the CNN report, seem to be freaking out quite a bit, including Republicans, because it seems like the Department of Education and the Trump administration didn't realize that the NNSA, which they cut the staff, oversees nuclear weapons. A funny thing happened on the way to the end of the earth as we knew it. Trump got elected and we all blew up. All right, let's get to some odd notes in the news. President Trump yesterday denied asking the DOJ to drop the New York City the charges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams. He was basically under corruption charges for bribery and solicitation. The DOJ has dropped the charges. We talked about the lawyers at DOJ who were filing the criminal charges who have resigned in protest over the dropping of the charges against him. The New York Post yesterday reported that Adams has asked his top staff not to criticize the Trump administration and to allow ICE officials from Washington into Rikers prison to deport illegal immigrants. Now, on the surface, maybe that sounds good. It doesn't sound good to me, but I can understand the argument that, okay, that is good. But New York law says that a criminal has to serve out his full sentence. Okay? You can't get somebody in the middle of their sentence and then deport them to another country. It's like playing Monopoly and they get the get out of jail free card. Now, you can sit here if you want, I don't agree with it, and say, well, at least we're not paying for it. Well, then what good is the criminal justice system? If you're going to go through the process of prosecuting, convicting, and putting in jail somebody, why should they get out a year or 2 later and just send them back to another country? You know, I know this is going to sound outlandish, but F it all. It's the weekend, okay? We can do that. Hey, this video ain't for kids, right? But if they're in another country, is it possible they can sneak back? I don't know. I know the border is totally secure now. Before, it was a colander. Everything just got through it, right? Even though Biden deported over 2.5 million people last year. Forget it, okay? Forget that. So we're going to deport these guys who are illegal immigrants in New York prison who committed crimes, Rikers, the baddest of the bad in New York, and we're going to send them back to their home countries. I know none of them will try and make it back here. No, perish the thought. You know why? Because we're going to get a handshake from them saying they're not going to be bad guys anymore. Effing morons. All right. Talking about morons, let's move on to J.D. Vance, the moron in charge. Second in charge, my bad. He's on the Lie, Lie, Lie tour. No, that's not a music tour. That's just what the Trump administration does when they head outside the borders of the United States. He took stage in Munich yesterday to condemn totalitarianism in, wait for it, not Russia, not China, yes, Europe. Oh, yeah. Didn't see that as a problem on my bingo card, but okay, thank you, JD, for illuminating me. He called it the enemy within in the European continent. Let's get to the bottom of what JD is after. He's like Columbo, man. He roots out that stuff. God bless that little now Catholic married to an Indian woman who we should effing deport. It seems like we don't really have a vague idea. Well, we didn't at the beginning of his incredible soliloquy. Shakespeare would be in awe of the way this guy talks. When he talked about European allies are censoring their opponents. Ho, ho, ho. Me, good American. Me, show you the way. Even though we seem to be censoring all the outlets in America that actually criticize the Trump administration. He talked about how European allies are putting their opponents in jail. Also, it does seem to tie into his later half-lie, or, I guess a half-lie is actually a step up for the Trump administration, but I digress there. He suggested that the Romanians' recent presidential election, which was annulled. Now listen to this. How? First of all, can we do that? Can we annul an election? Because I really want to go back 4 months and I want to redo. Let me tell you, if we had the ability to redo that election today, do you think Trump would win, even though he's only been in for 3 weeks? Like, really? You think that would work? He suggested that the election that was annulled was a play to deny voters their choice. Yes. Kind of like in 2016 when the majority of Americans voted for Hillary Clinton, but President Trump was elected through the Electoral College. Yeah. Wonder were we denied our vote then? It's funny when the Republicans talk about it, we won the Electoral College, the popular vote doesn't matter. And then they start down that whole little twisted road. Are we a democracy? Are we a republic? I don't know. We are what we are. Let's not get into the semantics. And it is always what they tried to do. They try and get one little thread and paint the entire picture with it. God, I got something in my eye. And it's not just my eyeball. So what really happened in this annulled election? So the first round, they have a couple different rounds. And you start wheedling down the field. You go from 6 to 4 to 2 to 1, right? So in the first round, this far-right, pro-Russian candidate very narrowly got a place in the next round. But it seems like Russia interfered. Yeah, they seem to. And the Romanian intelligence agencies presented the evidence of them interfering in the election, altering vote counts, etc., and the courts agreed, and they threw out this candidate, right? Because there was, as the court said, significant interference from Russia. Wow. Doesn't that sound like 2016 again? It's funny, I don't think JD mentioned that. I must have missed that in the transcripts. Also, Make no mistake, in his speech in front of European leaders, J.D. Vance is also objecting to the rule of law. They brought a case, they took it to court with evidence. This isn't like the 2020 conspiratorial stuff that the MAGAs put out there without any evidence, even though they lost over 60 federal court cases objecting to the election. Oh, no, I saw a TikTok video. No, they were counting ballots at night. Yeah. Courts didn't seem to think so, even though 37 appointed judges by Trump agreed that there was no election interference. I know a guy. Yeah, I know. All right, also in the news, we got OpenAI basically gave the middle finger to Elon Musk in his $97 billion offer. The chairman of AI, Brett Taylor, said OpenAI is not for sale. Unfortunately, that does not apply to Trump and Musk. Trump also said Friday that the Trump White House, Trump was too busy trying to figure out how to buy Greenland with, blue chip stamps and cans, said that the Associated Press, AP, is banned from the Oval Office and Air Force One indefinitely because they are still using the words, Gulf of Mexico. Yeah. I mean, really let that sit in. We're going to ban a press organization because I decided 2 months ago we're going to call it Gulf of America. It's been Gulf of Mexico for hundreds of years. Yeah. Okay. I can't wait till we rename the Atlantic Ocean the American Ocean. I wonder if that's on the table. I just thought of that. Yeah. I know I'm witty. Hey, I'm good looking too. Just don't fall in love, okay? Finally, in the news, we have a 26-year-old right-wing influencer, Ashley St. Clair. Seems like something funny happened to Ashley a little while ago. She claims she just fathered a baby with Elon Musk. He was a young 53. It's always so cute when the guys are twice the age of the girls they impregnate. I wonder, though, did she actually in the room with him? Did she actually have intercourse, or did she get pregnant from his constant tweeting on ketamine? I don't know. Then she makes an extensive post on X about having the kid, about having it with Elon, and then she asks for privacy. And I'm thinking to myself, why did you even put the tweet out? Who the hell knows who you are? Oh, wait. Then you can get a little more prominent, but then you can also, say you got a kid. We don't know if it's true, just like all his, cutting the budget with Elon and the transparency. Well, just because he says it so doesn't make it so, right? All right. I did enough of my truths for the day. You know what? You go out and speak your truth. Speak to democracy. Speak to justice. I love you all. Hey, if you can, hit the like and subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Leave your comments, and I will see you tomorrow.